Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli هارون أخي أشدد به أسري واشركه في أمري لنسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, friends. Hope everyone's doing well. We will continue with our discussion on seeing the most beautiful qualities, beautiful names of God in the universe, where the author is sharing his journey, or in a way, the human journey that takes us from different stages to realize all those different qualities. So in the example that the author was using was a flower, a particle, and a transparent atom, how each has their own way of reflecting, let's say the sun, the sun being in an analogy, how the light of the sun is being reflected through these different objects, the flower being the most dense one, and then the particle being a little less, and then the transparent atom. So Fariha had added a few things to this document that was shared as a summary in a table form about the spiritual journey of the human soul, which we said was the human's ego, how much ego we can curb, the better we can go towards the transparent particle stage. So of the mind and the heart. So Fariha added an individual progression towards human perfection, to be a true human being. One has to go through these stages. So the one was the flower, the other one was droplet, and the third, the transparent particle. So I think in blue, Faria added manifestation, reflection, and radiance to each of these categories. So we went over last time the intellectual thought for the flower, and Faria had a limited view of the universe, whereas droplet has the path of sainthood, which is a little broader view of the universe, whereas the transparent particle is the path of prophethood, which is the universal expansive view of the reality of this universe. And the other thing was about the striving for perfection through the bodily systems for the flower, whereas the droplet using the mind and refining the soul, nafs, the egoistic side, refining it further using the path of sainthood, and then the particle through belief, submission, and purifying the heart. So not owning anything, basically. So the flower still owns its beauty, its colors. So it's more self-worshipping satisfaction for you added. So it does not give up egotism or plunge in works and approach reality through deduction and reasoning only. Whereas the path of sainthood for the droplet starts learning knowledge and science, reasons, uses more quality human abilities and learning. whereas the path of prophethood also learns through belief, realizing and the realization, acknowledgement, and the Quran, poverty, and worship. So let's read what Faria added. Self-worshipping satisfaction. Example, color, shape, and smell is given to me, and now it is mine and it belongs to me. So that's one current civilization way of looking at it. Taking ownership of many things. Whereas the other sainthood is sunlight does not belong to me, yet it is reflected through me. So it goes through me, so I'm still a little factor in there, in the benefiting from the reflection of the sunlight. Whereas the third one is sunlight does not belong to me and nothing belongs to me. I am just a drop in the ocean, so what can I claim? Nothing belongs to me, la ilaha, everything must belong to the sun or an absolute source of existence, illallah. So that's like a brief summary. Thank you, Fariha, for sharing your thoughts and adding to this. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Yes, exactly. I mean, excellent additions, explanatory, and also giving good examples. MashaAllah. I appreciated it. Can you show us the upper part of the slide, whatever you are sharing with us? Is it a slide?
It's a document.
Other do I see. I did. Yeah. So I am I repeating myself?
You're breaking up a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Something is wrong with my internet connection, maybe, or with me. I don't know. Now, yeah, excellent. Flower manifestation, reflection, radiance is exactly. And so we have to understand why Feriha may explain us. It is an excellent addition. Flower as manifestation, droplet as reflection, transparent particle as radiance. The book says so, but perfect located. Anyways, so she can explain if she feels that it is necessary or needed. Intellectual thought is a limited view of the universe. That is okay. That is fine. I'm not opposing. Just, I may say, shallow view of the universe. Path of the, I don't know. That is my suggestion. Let us see what Feriha will say, whether I agree or not. So, a broader view of the universe, I don't know how to say it, but a little bit, Feriha said agreed. A little bit deep, a little bit deep. How do you say limited deep? No, how do you say? View of the universe.
So a little better than the shallow view, right?
Yeah, better than the shadow, but let me say, let me talk about this third category, radiance category. An expansive view of the reality of the universe is deeper. Maybe shallow, deeper, deepest. What do you think? Or Feriha, let's see what Feriha will say. Deeper, the deepest. Humanly possible, the deepest. A view of the reality of the universe. Now, Feriha, we are waiting for you. Deeper, to deepest, yeah. Agreed. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So, so shall we go a bit towards Padam? So, self-worshipping, I'm rethinking about it. It was excellent. The smell is given to me exactly, and to me, and how it is mine, and it belongs to me. And the second category example, sunlight doesn't, yeah, sunlight doesn't belong to me. Uh, I would say, but it is just a suggestion. I would say doesn't see the direct sunlight, but it only sees its reflections through something, not through me. No, no, doesn't see the direct sunlight, or doesn't see the sunlight directly. How is it better English? Directly, but receives it through a reflector, which is going to be the sheikh or somebody else. So he's not going to benefit. This person is not looking for the sunlight, but reflection of it. That's why the moon example is given. Receiving the sunlight through a moon. But this will be a sheikh or something. Created being. Um, but so Feriha suggests created being. Just a minute. Let's thought about it before writing. I mean, everybody receives the sunlight example through a created being. But here is a guide. So it refers to some conscious being. It means another human being. That is why a sheikh, but listening to them and learning from them is different. We cannot write everything here. Learning from them is different, but leaving everything to another person to decide on his behalf. So he will just imitate what he is taught by a person who is supposed to receive the sunlight. But learning from it is different. A spiritual guide. Uh, of course, we should be careful not to confuse with the prophet as well. Prophet is directly teaching us how to receive the sunlight. But the others are, for example, we don't really, mm, we have to take many things into consideration. It becomes, example is easy. Having somebody as your spiritual leader, but leaving your free will to him or her. He will decide as he understands, and I am going to, so I leave my, I take a person as my spiritual leader, and I am not using my free will. Whatever he says, I imitate it. I don't attempt and try to learn how to benefit directly from the sunlight. That is the idea I understood from it.
So, for example, the author of this book, for example, Syed Nursi.
Yeah,
So we're benefiting from his work,
benefiting from it, exactly.
right? But we use our free will to implement it in a way.
But we are using it, learning from it,
Mm-hmm.
how we ourselves can benefit from the wahi or revelation from Allah. Prophet's position is different. That is in bracket. Prophet shouldn't be, yeah. And the third category, let's finish this.
Oh, yeah. I have a question about the prophetic category because at the end of the day, it's still a human being, but I'm benefiting from it. Doesn't mean that I'll follow through what that human being say. I'll listen, try to make sense, and then apply. So I think in this path of sainthood, when we say through another human being, but then a human being from this universe rather than a human being inspired from an absolute source.
No. The distinction needs to be made clearer, even in a way that we can really understand better. Now, we are learning from the Quran. We are learning from the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, but the difference is using our free will, we apply in our relationship with my Allah directly as much as I could learn. But in the second category, this is third category, you have perfectly written here, sunlight doesn't belong to me, nothing belongs to me. That's what the Quran is teaching me. Yeah, that is why I have to apply in my life. I'm emphasizing on it in order to make the distinction between the third category and second category, because it is difficult to make the distinction in between. It is easier, much easier, to make the distinction between the first category and second category. But most of the time we confuse second category with the third one because it seems to be the same thing. I am learning from the Quran. Yeah, I am learning from my sheikh, and whatever he tells me, I will do it. And whatever the Quran tells me, I will do it. What is the difference? So, la ilaha, nothing belongs to me, la ilaha, everything must belong to an absolute source of existence, illallah, illallah, a double L. La ilaha is okay. No, 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 no. La ilaha is correct. In its place is correct. No, yeah, keep it there. But illallah, double L. Yep, that's it. Perfect. I have nothing to say there. La ilaha, yeah. Now, second category, what is the difference between the third and second? First category, I am learning how to directly connect this sunlight. Now, that is third category. Second category, trusting someone as my spiritual guide, leaving how to connect with myself, how to connect with the sunlight, leaving it to the spiritual leader, saying that he is or having a good intention about this spiritual guide and believing and sincerely believing that he is receiving from the sunlight. So if I follow what he says and without myself investigating as the Quran and the Prophet teaches us, whatever he says, do it. without using my free will in order to communicate with the sunlight directly with my own effort. We read, for example, Nursi's book right now. Tomorrow, something else. But today, Nursi's book we are reading. We are not going to imitate Nursi. We are going to learn, inshallah, from Nursi and apply it in my life to communicate with the sunlight directly. So this is described in Sufi tradition in a beautiful way. They explain, but I'm speaking a lot, I know, but I think I have to share this in order to make the case clear as far as my responsibility is concerned. Yeah. Now, they say you have to submit yourself. Now, okay, something is going on the screen. Let's concentrate on the subject. Let's wait for Feriha write something. Whatever he write. Now, Feriha done? Okay. Now let me give this example and then decide what to write. You decide what to write. They say, look, you have to submit yourself to your spiritual guide like a dead body, look, without any free will and intellect, consciousness, like a dead body to the hands of your spiritual guide. Because he gets the sunlight, they say. Because your spiritual guide is connecting with the sunlight, like the moon. Suffice with the reflection of the moon, because ultimately the moon gets its light from the sun. So why bother? You will attempt. So leave yourself as a dead body to the hands of your spiritual leader. Now that is called sheikh in their literature. So that is how they themselves, going in the second category path, describe their profession. Whereas Quran and the Prophet says, be alive, stay alive. Don't cheat yourself as if you are a dead body. You are not. Accept your reality and use your human qualities. Quran keeps saying, use your intellect, reasoning, consciousness, deep reflection quality, and try directly to communicate with the sunlight. I am just teaching you the ways of doing it. That's it. And decision is on yours. Decision is on you. You will use your free will to apply it, get the sunlight. This is the prophetic path. Prophetic path is not saying be a corpse, like a corpse, dead body in my hand. That sounds, in fact, I am leaving myself as a dead body to the hands of the prophet. Oh man, what a religious person. No, it is not your reality. You have to learn and use your human qualities. You are not a dead body. This example makes it clear the distinction between last two paths, second and third path.
Thank you. Although one can argue that in both categories, even the path of sainthood, the onus is on the individual. So I'm free to either blindly follow the guide or take lessons and apply it in. What I'm trying to say here is in both categories, the way we're defining the spiritual guide, they're just providing us with a teaching, and it's up to us to avail it rather than following in like a dead zombie. And perhaps trying to get at more in terms of the path of prophethood, perhaps is presenting more explanation or concrete example to make sense of my existence here. Perhaps it's providing a vision for an afterlife that maybe path of sainthood is not. This is how I can make sense of the distinction. Other than that, I think the human being has their free will. So just as any teacher, you know, they'll teach you, hey, just learn the lesson and apply it in your own life rather than just following me blindly. I don't know if that makes sense.
And leaving yourself to me. No, I am a teacher. Okay. You are a student, fine. But you will learn from my teaching and you yourself will apply it in your life and get the source yourself. Connect yourself to the source that I am connected to. So the second category says, it is enough for me. It is enlightening for my life when I receive the light from the moon. I know that it is from the sun anyways. It looks like very modest, justifiable, but prophetic path says, no, no, no. I am a teacher. So I am going to teach it how to connect. I am not the moon. No, I am as if I am the prophet. I am teaching you. I am not the moon. I am a teacher. I am going to teach you how to connect yourself to the sun directly, get your own light yourself. But follow my teaching. That teaching will take you to the path that you will directly receive the light from the sun.
Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. I guess directly, I'll teach you how to connect directly with the source of existence, rather you'll connect with the source of existence through my teachings.
Through somebody else's
teachings. Rather, hey, my teaching will help you connect with the source of your existence directly, rather than, hey, through my teaching, you will connect with the source of your existence. Okay. Makes sense now.
If it makes sense now, go and see what you have added. And if there is something correction needs to be done, do it and let's see how it sounds all together. read all together and finalize it if you are satisfied with what you have read, so that we will see and talk about it if needed.
All right, so through the guide's teaching, one can connect with the source of their existence is under the path of sainthood through the guide's teaching. So here.
No, write it, don't without speaking, because I cannot follow. Write it, finalize it, and say it is final. Let me read it together, all together, and talk about it if needed. When you finalized it, let us know.
Done.
You are done. Read it and see whether you agree with it finally.
So through the guide's teaching, one connects with.
From the very beginning, example.
Example, sunlight does not belong to me, yet it is reflected through me.
No, it is wrong. According to me, I'm sorry. I just speak in this way. That is my bad habit. So it doesn't belong to me, yet it is reflected through me. No, the spiritual leader is saying this, not the person.
Oh, I see. Because I was thinking of the person taking ownership.
Means that anyway, the leader is taking the light from the sun, so I shouldn't bother. So I will put myself as a dead one, as if no free will, no intelligence. Whatever he says, I will do it without thinking. No, accordingly adjusted. If
okay, makes sense. Exactly.
I think it is clear.
Yeah.
No, spiritual guide doesn't say. So the person believes that the person, the follower, this path necessitates that, the person believes the guide is receiving the light from the sun. So I shouldn't bother about using my free will and intelligence. That is my bad English. Make it concise and better. While we are doing this, I believe we are really trying to understand the difference between second and third category. Most of the time we confuse this. I myself experienced this. Which is most of the Muslims confuse this point. That's why they don't really, for example, they don't really, most people, Muslims, don't appreciate the method we are following, because in this method, we are not imposing ourselves and asking people to follow us. What we say, hey, learn how to worship God yourself alone. Be a responsible person. They don't like it. They are looking for sheikh. I have many examples in my life coming and saying that, look, I need a sheikh. Can you advise me? What are you going to do with it? I don't know. I cannot have time to study. Yeah, and tell me a person who I can trust, and whatever he says, I'm ready to do it because I know I don't have time to study. That doesn't work. That works only the second category. We follow the third category. And Dursi says, okay, what I'm saying, learn it. If you like it, apply it yourself. Don't depend on me. That's why he says, this is the book I wrote. Read it and apply it to yourself. Don't come to me. Oh, it is very, very meaningful. He didn't accept visitors, personal visitors coming in. No. Why do you visit me? All my ideas are written in the books. Go and read it. But he's very sharp in this case. He didn't accept visitors. Interesting. He didn't accept any present, let alone collecting money. No. Even the present, gift. People brought gift from their country. This is for example, in some parts of Turkey, they have wonderful honey, unbelievable smells, quality, just source of really healing. MashaAllah, perfect. They brought something from their hometown, village, and coming to visit to Nursi says, why did you come to me? I'm nothing, just whatever I have. If you think that I have something really worth visiting, they are all in the book. Don't come to me. And they said, okay, take our gift and we are going. No, because if I open this door and if the people will say, look, Nursi is getting some worldly, financial, or material benefit from his visitors. No, religion should not be exploited or polluted with any means. If you want to give sadaqah to religious, needy people. Quran doesn't say you have to give it to religious people. No, needy people. He didn't accept it. It is wonderful, really. I love it. And says, okay, you learn and connect yourself with the sunlight directly. Don't come to me. But if you want, you can read my writings, benefit from it. It is a perfect distinction between second and third method or path. Finalized, Feriha?
Yes.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Let's read it now, inshallah. Second and third only. Example. The first is perfect. The person believes that the spiritual guide receives sunlight from the sun, and now they are benefiting from it through using their human feelings. No, I was said the person doesn't see sun. No, not don't go with their human feeling. No, now they are submitting themselves to him without taking their initiatives. Not in order to learn, in order to submit themselves to them. Whatever they say, they will do it. I mean, put it in a good English, inshallah. Yeah. No, learning processes in order to apply for themselves. You know, learning from them how to communicate with the sunlight himself, personally. Take the initiative. Am I being too fussy? Otherwise, I will stop it. I mean, to make sure the distinction, most of the people follow the second category, thinking that they are following the third category because of laziness, not really daring to pick up the responsibility. That's why not many people really look for the third category without realizing what they are missing. And they don't appreciate if somebody presents the case to them in the third category way.
Should we change something here in the second category? And now they're just following the guide without any thought?
Let's see. Example, the person believes the spiritual guide receives sunlight from the sun. Correct. And now they are just following the guide without any, no, they are just, how do you say, following the guide, and not trying themselves to receive the sunlight. It means connect themselves to the sunlight without striving. Yeah, a better word. Directly receiving the sunlight. Not striving to strive. Yeah. Yes. For themselves to directly receive the sunlight. Yes. I mean, I am satisfied. I don't know.
Same here, satisfied, yes.
The person doesn't see sunlight directly, but receive it through reflector, e.g., another human being that one takes it, another human being that one takes as a spiritual guide. Yeah, directly, but receive through a reflector.
Here's the thing, though, Brother Ali. I mean, because the whole thing is the human free will at the end of the day. So in this third path of prophethood, the individual will do some striving as well. Because here was my initial query, right? Both are teachers, sainthood and prophethood, but it's the student now who's progressing towards receiving sunlight directly. It's because the way the teaching is done, it makes you strive to receive it directly. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah. He must try to receive the sunlight himself by learning from well, he can learn, he must learn, as we are learning from other people. For the moment, the side nursery, for example, just an example we are learning now.
Well, the learning, because even in the sainthood path, people, we're always looking to learn from someone, right? But it seems that the path of prophethood is offering something more. It's offering me to directly connect with the source of my existence.
Teaching me how to connect myself. Now writing the third category. We didn't finish the second category yet.
Okay.
So my mind doesn't work in ways. So let's come to the person doesn't see sun yet, correct, but receives it through a reflector, e.g., another human being that takes it, the being that one takes it. I mean, receiving it from a reflector, but doesn't, did we say this? Yeah. E.g., another human being, but the difference is one of them is in the third category, learning to do himself, to practice himself. The other one, not learning to practice himself, without learning, imitating what the person he assumed to be the leader. In the second category, but you are thinking to the third category now.
I'm just writing the notes what you're saying, because in both categories the person is still learning.
Not learning. Now, in the second category, person is learning how to imitate the sheikh. In this, but don't hurry to me as far as.
Okay. Can we just have a dialogue then? The person is learning how to imitate the sheikh. So whose fault is it there? It's not the sheikh's fault, it's the person's fault, because you're sufficing yourself with what's being presented. And therefore, that's why I named this an individual progression. Like, this is how the human being is progressing. Because you want to learn, how do I do this? How do I make sense of my existence? Okay, somebody offers you something. It seems that what the path of sainthood is offering, because the human being is the student, the striving individual, no matter what. So it seems to me what the path of sainthood is offering is either insufficient to quench my existential thirst, or the way the teaching is offered shuts me down. So really, what is it that the path of prophethood offers that sainthood is not offering? Is really path of prophethood offers me how to connect with the source of my existence directly, but the path of sainthood offers me how to connect with the source of my existence through the saint,
to himself,
through
himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
they don't teach how to connect themselves to the sun and receive the sunlight directly. They don't teach. If you read, for example, as far as my readings tell me, and also practical observance also, they say, they take it as a give a bit, it means, there is a word for it in English. Suhail, somebody may help me, especially Suhail. Pledge of allegiance. They say, pledge of allegiance. It means, for example, I am an immigrant. I came to to the United States. I wasn't born here. I came here after going through certain processes. They asked me, now you have to, how do you say pledge of allegiance, or there is a word for it, I don't know. You can help me. Declare.
Naturalization, they call it.
Sorry?
Naturalization.
Naturalization. But, I mean, to give pledge of allegiance, to declare pledge of allegiance, what is the verb? Maybe declare? Doesn't matter. It's English, for my curiosity. To declare pledge of allegiance, what does it mean? It means I am going to submit my free will to American laws, Constitution, the source of the laws, Constitution. So I can only use my free will in order to sustain my citizenship by following Constitution. I am not here to change the Constitution or establish my own administration. No. If I try to establish another state led by me in my life, they will treat me as traitor. Now, in the second category, the people following the Sufi path, especially nowadays, maybe some people among us might have experienced it, but I did, and I read, for example, Rumi gives lots of beautiful, beautiful illustrations of the path of this way, the second path, the second way of reaching the truth. They are excellent. But at the end, he says, look, you have to submit yourself to a sheikh. It means peer. In other language, it is called in Persian peer. In Arabic, sheikh. In English, they call it sheikh. They don't have English word for it. Now, a spiritual leader, submit yourself to it, assuming that you cannot do it yourself. But neither the Quran, nor the universe, nor the witnessing of the creation offers this. All three of them, or also human nature also accompanies that. 4 channels teach me that you have free will. You will learn, but apply it yourself. Connect yourself with God directly, not by saying that I'm not going to learn it, to practice, and saying, okay, you tell me what to do, I will get it from you. Rather than learn from you and apply it myself. This is the fundamental difference between the second and the third. That is why we study anything, even the Quran. Now Nursi is writing. We are not going to imitate it. We will see, does it make sense? Can I really confirm it? Not what? There are 2 ways of reading a text, but Nursi's text, for example. Nursi said so, it must be true. That is second category of following Nursi's teaching. Third category of following Nursi's teaching, Nursi says, so let me think. It makes sense, yeah, really, correct. Okay, I will apply it in my life. I confirm it, I will apply it in my life. The second category of reading Nursi, example, Nursi says, so it must be true. So without questioning how can it be true or not, because Nursi is the expert of this subject, I'm going to follow it. Now, a doctor tells me, you don't know the medical, you didn't receive the medical education, you don't know what the problem is with you, and you don't know. So follow me whatever I say. Second category, all right? And they say, take this tablet in the morning, in the afternoon, twice a day. Without knowing what is it, I get the prescription, go to the pharmacy, get the medicine, I don't know what it is, and take it. That is second way of going to the truth. Am I doing something wrong? No, I am doing right. But the doctor, the prophet, Dr. Prophet says, look, you have to use your own human qualities, learn medicine, and diagnose your problems and apply it. Then come to my medical school as a student to learn, not to imitate. Nursi says, I wrote this book, go and read it. If it makes sense to you, benefit from it, apply it in your life. Don't imitate me. That is third category. The prophet does what the prophet does. Prophet says, look at my life. How am I applying it? Take the example, put it into practice in your own life within your own living conditions. It is not imitation, it is learning from the prophet. But we take it as if it is imitation. That is wrong. We are learning. If we are satisfied with the practice of the prophet, we have to apply it because I'm satisfied myself according to my living conditions. So let's now stop writing it. If you have any other questions to make the distinction between second and third category, we can talk after clearing our minds and deciding this is it, I understood, and then you write it. And then let's talk about it. Because it is the gist of the matter, actually, all the section we are going to read in this subject. And then everything will make sense now when we start reading the examples or rest of the pages, inshallah. Is it clear, or would you like to say something? We have 1 minute, a lot of 60 seconds.
I mean, I'll think about what we shared and then we can revise it again, inshallah, next time, because it's trying to process the thinking and what was shared.
That is fine. Don't forget this dead body in the second category. In the end of the Sheikh example, it makes it very clear. Dead body. And the third category says, be a live body, use your own qualities, but I am just teaching you how to utilize it and digest it, assimilate it within yourself. If you are satisfied, use your own free will and get in contact with the sunlight directly. Don't imitate me and use me as an obstacle between you and the sunlight. The prophet says, use me as a vehicle of teaching, but learn how to communicate with the Creator. That's why we emphasize the important point. We are saying, while we are practicing the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, we are directly worshiping God, obeying God. Through following the Prophet, we are obeying God. So we obey God, but we follow the Prophet as an example how to do the practice. Like a technician in a laboratory. Now, the technician comes and demonstrates how a chemical reaction should be utilized using certain materials. Now, in chemistry department. Now, and then he demonstrates it and then says, okay, next time you will apply it. I will see you if you are applying it rightly or wrongly. Accordingly, I will teach you again. But you will apply it after you understand yourself. But it must make sense to me. So the Prophet says, I am a medical teacher. And in the third category, the Prophet says, I am the medical teacher. In the second category, the Sheikh says, I am the doctor. Here is the prescription, do it. Don't ask why, how. Just take the medicine, that's it. That is pledge of allegiance to the sheikh. But the Prophet says, the Quran says, take a pledge of allegiance to the Prophet because Prophet is going to teach you, so that you will apply it, not ask you to imitate him. But see if it is correct, confirm it. That is why it is so delicate. The difference is so next to each other, but really delicate points are making the distinction.
Alhamdulillah, it's clear now. So inshallah, we'll revise this. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
Inshallah, write it down next week. Inshallah, we will talk about it.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Beautiful discussion, actually. So one thing I was thinking about the two aspects, the second sainthood and the prophethood. Like you said, there's a fine line in between. It's easy to confuse because even the prophet may be seen as a saint, like a regular one of the ones who've been employed by, for example, all the saints that are working and striving to learn and then share their message. But the prophet is directly getting it, and that's what he's explaining, how to directly connect with the direct sunlight, and also not to take his word, but confirm it with the universe and within your own selves. Just don't take it, okay, my sheikh said it or my spiritual guide said it, so it must be right. So the confirmation part is important for me, at least, in making the distinction.
So do you remember in our classes, I keep repeating the Quran is not to be read to imitate, but to confirm. Do you remember this expression I used many times?
Yes, indeed. And that's the missing part in the civilization.
Among the Muslims.
Right.
Now the Muslims don't want that. It is because, oh, I am going to learn and confirm the Quran. No. Imitate the Quran. That's why I read it. That's it. I read it and do it, whatever it says. And of course, if someone says, why do you do this? Because Quran says so. Why do you believe in the Quran? Because Quran is our sacred book, God's word. How do you know? Because I am a Muslim. Look at this, look at this. Why are you a Muslim? Because I was born in a family. Okay, I am an atheist because I was born into an atheist family. Are we equal? No. Why not? Why not? You are following your family culture. I am following my family culture. Why not? Look, it's a loop. Which kind of loop? Which kind of loop? Tautology loop. I am saying because I am a Muslim, I follow the Quran. Yeah. Why are you Muslim? Because I took the Quran as my sacred book. What does it mean? There is no conviction. There is no confirmation. This is not a belief. This is imitation. So, but they have good intention. Allah knows. Allah will appreciate their good intention, definitely. He is merciful one. But I must make the distinction, Alhamdulillah. We have the opportunity to make the distinction. Why not? Utilize it, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. So we can stop here for today, and we'll continue next time with our discussion on this. So we'll make it part 6 next time. So it will be,
Inshallah, it will be easier now to read the following parts. Inshallah.
inshallah.
It is also becoming clear in my mind. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. All right, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka anta al-alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati surat al-Fatiha.